I once went to a networking event with the plan of getting some local business owners as customers. And up until then, I had been operating under the assumption that everybody needs a designer because I was a graphic designer. When I spoke to the group, I talked about things like my skill, my expertise, my prices, and the quality of my work. But then they asked me why the hell they would ever hire me if I couldn't do printing. Because I assumed they already knew why they needed my service. And because of that, I completely misunderstood their needs as potential customers. And of course, I never got their business. Hi, I'm Becky Kielimnik.
And I'm Diana Doty, and we're serial entrepreneurs who have founded past and present startups, and we're here to share our boots-on-the-ground experience with you so that you can learn the things that you won't ever learn in a book.
We've helped companies like yours raise millions of dollars in funding and sponsorships by positioning them attractively in the market. Today, you'll learn that you have to talk to real people instead of relying on market research, surveys, and general advice for B2B businesses, like most people end up doing. You'll never really understand your customers' pain points and why they'd consider your product or service until you look them in the eyes and ask them, why would they consider it or not?
We've talked about why you're starting a business, what need of your customers you're solving, and if you did last episode's exercise, you should already have a pretty good idea of your why down to the actual emotional response of your customer to your product or service. Remember, businesses are made of people with frustrations, with deadlines, and with feelings. Zero in on what those people really need to be happier, and you've got yourself a good business idea.
Before you waste gobs of money and energy and time building something for them that they may not want.
Becky, I understand this has happened to you multiple times. Can you give us another example?
When I was working on my MBA, one of the many tasks that we had as MBA students was to do some free consulting work for local companies. Just side tip here, business hack, if you need some free consulting work, find a local MBA program that may be able to help you out. My team and I were presented with a local company that had a product they were about to launch, and they wanted our help to figure out how best to position this product for their market segment that they were aiming for. The class was divided into about 5 or 6 teams, and the other teams did what you're supposed to do. They sent out these general surveys, and they basically only put the client's question in there. If this product was launched, would you do X, Y, and Z with it? But I didn't know any better. I didn't know about this whole surveying thing. So what I did, I went through my own contacts. I had former customers that were in this market segment, and I called them directly. Picked up the phone, called the director, called the CEO of the company, and talked to them for about an hour apiece. Said, hey, my client wants to introduce this product. How would it help you? While other teams found an answer to the client's question, and they all came up with the same directive, basically to do what the client was planning to do from the start, I learned through my detailed one-on-one conversations that the intended customer had absolutely no interest in the client's product whatsoever. They said it was too expensive and they had no use for it. When I went to present my findings to the client, I told them to pivot completely and not waste their money developing it.
That's bold. As a student?
Right? And I was nervous as hell to present this information, and my teammates tried to talk me out of it, saying, we just need to tell them what they want to hear. But I prevailed, and the client thanked us profusely for saving them a ton of effort and money. And we won the pitch, and they actually ended up paying us, which I don't think they had to do. That's how excited they were. You don't have to do that if you hire MBA students, but just, it's nice.
So how is that story relevant to your startup, Becky?
The point is, you need to talk to real people with real problems and make sure your product solves those problems, not what you think their problems are. Sending out a general survey to who knows whom that you put on the internet, you don't know who's answering that. You don't have a really good idea of if you're even addressing the questions correctly. You need to know what the right questions are to ask in order to have that work, and you don't really know what the right questions are until you actually talk to somebody.
Exactly. And you've taken a survey before. How seriously did you take it? Did you really consider the deeper meaning behind that survey, or did you just tick whatever boxes looked like they would be the most relevant and try and get it done as fast as you possibly could? Surveys, they only can go so far in telling the truth, and they'll never tell the whole picture because they're always multiple choice, right? So for today's exercise, you're going to brainstorm on how you can reach out directly to your potential clients and find out what they really need and want, beyond what you just would learn from a simple survey. So get out your writing implements.
I'm ready. What you're going to write down, you're going to make 2 lists. And if you can, make them as columns. In column 1, make a list of 5 to 6 real people. Not businesses, but people working in decision-making roles in those businesses. People that you think would be interested in your product or service. This is not something that you're going to be able to do in a few minutes. You may have to do some research to come up with these names. So get on LinkedIn, think of your contacts, think of who you know, think of who they know. So make a list of those people. Maybe you've already had conversations with these people. If that's the case, make a list of different people. You want to get as much perspective as you can. In the second list, or in column 2, however you have things set up, determine how you plan to get in touch with these people. Is someone a friend of a friend? A relation? Someone you met at a network event even? Write down their contact information if you have it, or if you don't have their contact information, write down how you're going to get it. Now, finally, on a different page, make a list of questions you want to ask these people to find out if you are on the right track for figuring out their needs. But here's the thing. Make sure these questions are open-ended. Ask things such as, what are your pain points, and would X, Y, or Z solve that problem? The point is to get the conversation going. People love to talk about their problems. So plan to spend an hour or more talking to each person if you can, and let them lead the conversation. You're going to discover things that you didn't know you were going to discover. At the end of all of these questions, add these 2 before you get off the call. Make sure you ask, do you know anybody else who might be interested in talking to me about this? And can I contact you again once I'm ready to go to market?
Ooh, those are interesting additions. Why would you ask those?
First of all, you're going to be expanding your network. And secondly, once you're ready to go to market, you are going to already have a list of warm leads.
Boom. Right there, not only have you found out some valuable information about how to market your product and your customers, but you've already built a rapport with some of your potential customers and their friends.
It's like multitasking, but in a way that actually works.
So use the comments below right here as a way to also network and meet others who are going through the same entrepreneurial journey that you are. There may just be another viewer who can help you out.
And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of the videos we have to help you succeed with your business.
Now go forth and knock 'em dead.